Good afternoon, welcome to our Camnet Midday News. My name is Amazing Katamanda with the headlines. Mining audit reveals fraudulent operations. Zambians urged to give the UPND more time to deliver development.
Team, the trajectory of the business looks very positive, and it looks like we'll be able to launch the...
She has so much data.
Mom?
Yes, baby?
It says here, global warming and climate change is caused by the pollution from careless activities of human beings.
Wow!
Son, do you know I can turn my phone into a TV remote?
How's that possible?
It's so easy. Check this out.
Be smart, be fast with mega data from Zamtel. Get your 15 GB mobile data for only 100 kwacha, 30 GB mobile data for only 200 kwacha, and your 70 GB LTE data bundle with free Netflix, YouTube, Facebook, and WhatsApp. Visit our Facebook page, website, or service centers countrywide for more information. Zamtel, your digital lifestyle partner.
Thank you for staying with us, and now the news in detail. New Congress Party President Peter Chanda has employed Zambians to give the UPND for the, employed Zambians to give the United Party for National New Party President Peter Chanda has employed Zambians to give the United Party for National Development enough time to fulfill its campaign promises. Mr. Chanda notes that the promises such as the free education policy are coming to fruition. It will be illogical for people to expect comprehensive development overnight.
The United Party for National Development government has been facing pressure from a cross-section of society, with the people expecting the fulfillment of various campaign promises as soon as yesterday. But President Hakainde Hichilema and his administration have been emphasizing on the need to get the economic fundamentals right whilst implementing the 2022 national budget, with debt being a major matter of concern which continues to hinder economic growth. And recently, Botswana's former president Ian Khama mediated for President Hichilema during the funeral of Zambia's fourth Republican president, Rupia Banda.
You are the best man during these challenging times to lead your nation, Zambia, through this. I hope the people of Zambia will be patient whilst you steer your country and people through this difficult period that is not of your making.
New Congress Party President Peter Chanda, who was known to be a Patriotic Front sympathizer and a critic of the UPND, says President Hichilema and his team need more time to fulfill all campaign pledges.
When you usher in a new government, don't expect changes to be done immediately, because they have a time that they have to live in the office to learn the art and understand how to run government. President Hakainde Hichilema entered into public office for the first time. So is a lot of permanent secretaries and a lot of ministers. Many ministers, it is their first time. It is only maybe 4 ministers that we can say. I honor the vice president was in government before, the Minister of Lands, the Minister of Health, and the 2 others who were previously in government, who understand how to run government. But the rest, they are doing job on training. So to weigh the 6 months and to dictate, to say they failed, I want to state that the perimeter will be scored 3 months before the general election.
In the meantime, the cost of living, as measured by the Jesuit Center for Theological Reflection, JCTR, Basic Needs and Nutritional Basket for Lusaka, stood at 9.3 thousand for the month of February 2022, and Mr. Chanda urges the UPND government to reduce the high cost of living.
The Zambian people were promised 14 hours after being sworn in, by 10 hours after being sworn in, by 14 hours the kwacha will appreciate. That has not been achieved. The Zambian people were promised free education. That has been achieved. The other promises that are very fundamental to the Zambian people, and that is reducing the cost of living, reducing the fuel. reducing other essential commodities. That has not been achieved, and this is something that we can be able to say sits in the hearts of the people as a time bomb. My prayer is the UPND government should immediately address, lest if we are able to reintroduce the subsidy to cushion the pains and suffering that the people are doing, let's do that.
While Zambians may need to be patient, well, constant reminders of their campaign promises remain vital in achieving the desired outcome. Patrick Soko, Camnet News, in Lusaka.
Minister of Mines and Minerals Development, Paul Kabuswe, says the initial audit findings conducted on the mining sector have revealed that some firms in the system with mining rights are not registered with PACRA. Mr. Kabuswe has described this conduct as fraud and corruption, making government lose revenue.
Mining is a major economic sector in the country, contributing significantly to Zambian government revenue, mainly through mining royalties and VAT. Since the United Party for National Development Administration assumed office after the 12th August 2021 general elections, allegations of fraud and corruption characterizing the mining sector have been the talk of the day. To prove these allegations, Ministry of Mines and Mineral Development undertook a process audit and business process re-engineering at the Ministry Cadastral Department. Minister of Mines Paul Kabuswe Monday morning updated the media on the outcomes of the audit, which have revealed too many irregularities. Among them is that some firms on the system with mining rights have never been registered with PACRA.
A feature which is so disappointing and at the same time worrying for me is the fact that we have discovered companies which are not yet registered with PACRA, but yet they have a license. How they got a license without PACRA documents, nobody knows, but as a ministry, we'll get to the bottom of this. This is a serious source of fraud and corruption, and it's unacceptable. We cannot allow that.
The minister also says the audit has indicated that some companies own too many mining rights, using either a single or multiple companies with the same beneficial owner, which has ended up promoting speculations in the mining sector instead of investment.
I've confirmed the fears and the statements that I've made in the past, that we have people that are owning more than 40, 50 licenses alone. Now, these companies have been using either a single or multiple companies, different companies, where they've been hiding these licenses, so that we don't know that it's this person, but the audit has actually exposed that.
The audit has also revealed that the Ministry of Mines from as far as 2008 identified 40 tenements that were reserved for use by the government for investment in the mining sector, which have never been advertised.
One of the issues is that we are not aware that we have actually 40 bidding areas as far back as 2008, where key tenements have been identified and they were preserved for use by government for investment in the mining sector. The real intention was, with such areas locked off in the country, was that we need to now invite serious investors to come and bid. This was a discovery also.
Cleaning up of the mining sector will open up room for more genuine investment. Prudence Chota, reporting for Camnet TV News.
The National Development Coordinating Committee, NDCC, has begun the process of validating the draft 8th National Development Plan in Lusaka. Zambia based its development growth on the fifth year plan, of which the 7th National Plan Development has expired. Plan expired in 2021, being launched in 2016.
The delay by the former Patriotic Front administration to complete the 8th National Development Plan has seen the United Party for National Development Administration formulate the 2022 national budget with only a draft of the 8th NDP. This brought about a lot of debate in Parliament from the opposition members who questioned what plan the 2022 national budget has been based on. To ensure that the plan is fully constituted, the National Development Coordinating Committee NDCC has begun the process of validating the draft 8th NDP in Lusaka. And speaking at the validation meeting held at Molongoshi Conference Center, Secretary to the Treasury Felix Nkulukusa says various processes of consultation from the lowest decision-making bodies, the ward development committees have been undertaken to get to the point where a draft has been tabled before the committee.
This plan is approved. The national implementation plan, whose development is already underway, will be finalized and launched together with the plan, with this plan. It is also expected that the provincial and district implementation plans, as well as the institutional strategic and implementation plans, will be developed in line with the objectives, strategies, and programs contained in the 8th National Development Plan.
Meanwhile, Acting Secretary to Cabinet Patrick Kangwa, who represented the Finance Minister Stumbeko Msokotwane, says the success of the 8th NDP will depend on the resolution of binding constraints and the implementation of key reforms to be undertaken in the planned period.
In the meantime, we have had thousands of youths trained in areas such as education remaining unemployed. This is part of our unemployment story. Interventions during the 8th National Development Plan period, therefore, will focus on increasing access to and improving the quality of education. This includes, at higher levels, where training should be targeted at skills required by the private sector. The enhancement of health services and water and sanitation, as well as social protection that is well targeted, will be the focus.
And Cooperating Partner Group also spoke to the importance of ensuring that the 8th NDP is put in place.
Analyzing and systematically addressing the root causes for Zambia's debt and governance crisis, as well as enduring poverty and inequality, must be the starting point for the 8th NDP implementation. In that respect, the risk management section of the plan is an important innovation and hopefully will become an effective tool to address misuse of funds.
The National Developmental Plan is principally a policy document that outlines the government's desired developmental outcomes as well as the accompanying strategies and programs. The 7th NDP was prepared under the leadership of President Edgar Lungu in 2017, which came to an end in 2021. This entailed that a new plan was supposed to be put in place before the 2022 national budget was presented, a process which was delayed. Prudence Chota, reporting for Camnet TV News.
The state has submitted before the Lusaka High Court that government has not implemented any directive that only vaccinated people against COVID-19 should be allowed access to government premises, contrary to allegations made by a Lusaka-based lawyer. This is in a case in which a Lusaka-based lawyer, Kelvin Zimba, has sued the Health Minister, Sylvia Maseo, and the Attorney General before the Lusaka High Court over the directive she made on the 28th of November 2021 that only vaccinated people against COVID-19 should be allowed access to government premises.
After being sued last year before the Lusaka High Court, together with the Health Minister, Sylvia Maseo, the Attorney General has finally responded to the allegations advanced by a Lusaka-based lawyer, Kelvin Zimba, over the issue that only those vaccinated against COVID-19 should be allowed to access government premises. The state has denied the allegation by Mr. Zimba on ground that there has been no implementation of the said matter complaint and they are of futuristic, speculative fear than current status, as he has not cited any violation that he has suffered as a consequence. In this petition, Mr. Zimba cited the Health Minister, Sylvia Maseo, and the Attorney General has responded and is seeking an order that the Minister's pronouncement made on the 28th of November 2021, giving a directive that only those vaccinated against COVID-19 should be allowed to access government building, to be quashed for being unconstitutional. According to the said petition filed in court, Mr. Zimba wants the court to declare that the pronouncement made by the minister on the said date demanding that all persons entering public buildings and public service workers must be vaccinated against COVID-19 and produce proof of such vaccination is against Article 13, 19, 21 and 22 of the Constitution, therefore is void and of no effect. He had submitted that the minister's directives are likely to violate his rights guaranteed in Article 13(1) of the Constitution, in that he will be deprived of his personal liberty, as he will not be free to access government buildings and report for work unless he gets vaccinated. However, government in its answer states that Mr. Zimba should show how he has been hindered from freely associating and assembling with others, including members of his profession, further adding that the pronouncement was made after aspects surrounding the Omicron variant had not been understood, as it was made as an immediate reaction to protect citizens. But another press briefing was made on the 30th of November 2021, at which clarification on the implementation of public health measures were going to be actioned. The state has also told the Lusaka High Court that Mr. Zimba has not produced any evidence of this being implemented. Henceforth, his petition is preemptive and does not reveal a reasonable course of action. Miriam Kaimba, reporting for Camnet TV News.
This brings us to the end of our midday news, but before we go, let's take a look at the headlines once again. Mining audit reveals fraudulent operations. Zambians urged to give the UPND more time to deliver development. Thank you for joining us on our Camnet Midday News. My name is Amazing Katamanga. Good afternoon.